Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Collectively, we're two of the Office Blokes.
Yep.
Where's Daz gone?
Just the two of us again. I've no idea.
Fair enough. I guess he's not been allowed out of custody since Man City winning the league on Sunday.
Well, he could be doing normal work again.
Normal work?
Proper work.
I don't know about that. Yeah, Office Bloke Daz, he actually was going to come in today, wasn't he? But got stuck in a meeting.
Got waylaid a bit, so...
like you say, proper work.
Proper work.
It's not quite as funny as him being arrested
I know.
and stuff. But he will be back very soon, don't worry about it.
Yep.
And our gaming channel is launching very, 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 very soon.
It's on the way. Got a couple done already, haven't we?
Yeah, first two videos done. And they were a good laugh.
It was funny. Yeah, it's good to do, wasn't it? Good bit of banter, as usual.
Yeah, just working out the logistics now of doing online gaming against each other and stuff as well.
That's right.
Because there's a few things I want to do with that.
Sounds like fun.
I'm thinking one of them, I'm just going to do audio only and then gameplay footage.
Yeah.
And then if people think it's going to be better off with us having cameras at home, then maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah, we test the water, can't we? We can do it one or two different ways, I suppose, can't we?
Yeah.
I just got to say, I'm probably absolutely terrible at that.
That's the point.
It probably will be, yeah.
Yeah, do you think...
Yeah, I'm no gamer, that's for sure.
If anyone's going to watch us play Minecraft, it's not going to be for skills or, play Among Us or games like that. It's going to be for, what am I doing?
I know, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It would probably take me, weeks just to work out the controls and...
Yeah.
But anyway, it'd be a fun train.
Yeah, one of my ideas is actually that we each sit down for an hour on our own and film it and try and learn Minecraft, for example.
Oh, right, okay.
And then there'll be Office Bloke Mike learns Minecraft or plays Minecraft for the first time. And then once we've each had our hour, we'll come together on a server and we'll have some sort of challenge that we've got to do and just see what happens.
Could be an idea.
It's worth a go.
Yeah.
You're not going to come to us for You're not going to come to us for high level gaming. You're going to come for piss taking.
Exactly, that's exactly what it's going to be. It's got to be. Yeah, there's no high level gaming going on. That's for sure.
No.
But,
so
it's going to be good.
Keep your eye out for that. It should be launching this weekend, hopefully, as long as we get the intro finalised and all that sort of stuff.
Yep. Just need a bit of buffing, don't we?
A bit of buffing, yeah. A bit of polishing.
Polish it up.
Right then, athletes who were caught cheating, part 1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's been a bit of that over the years, haven't there? A bit of things that spring to mind with me is like cricket, where they've got a bit of soil in the pocket and they slice the ball to get a bit of dirt in it to make it heavier on one side.
Really?
Yeah. There's been a few times over. That. Yeah, it's been a few times over. Atherton was caught doing it. This was years ago, but
wow.
They'll put they'll slice one side of the ball and then they'll start get dirt from the pocket and they'll start putting dirt into the ball. And then when they're bowling, because one side's a bit heavier, it'll make the ball swing more. It's something like that anyway. But that's one that springs to mind with me.
Yeah.
Whether it'll be on air or not, I don't know. But
I know some baseball players have they had cork in the bats or something. There's it's been drilled out. Or, I don't know what, but there's been something that's not regulation put in the baseball bat. I don't know if it's to make it heavier or to make it sturdier.
I didn't know that. Right, okay.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times. Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Athletes who were caught cheating, part 1. Let's do this.
An attitude of winning at all costs sees some athletes throw the rule book out the window. But once they've crossed that finish line or climbed that podium, a single keen-eyed onlooker can bring all their hard-won success crashing down. With that, let's take a look at some shocking times athletes were caught cheating.
I mean, you could do a full program on cyclists, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
For stars.
They're all at it. Allegedly, they're all at it. Yeah, I think there's a lot... If we're getting into doping and stuff as well, I think there was a lot of that in baseball, wasn't there? There was a lot of steroid use and stuff.
I think they did hear something about that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, just have a doping league.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let them go and do what they want to do. Let them burn themselves out. Quickly,
I know.
High level.
Office Bloke Daz has always subscribed to that, hasn't he? Saying, listen, just have a separate one for all the ones that want to use drugs and everything. You just do a separate one.
Yeah.
So
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Rosie Ruiz. If you look up the definition of cheating in the dictionary, there's a good chance you'll find a picture of Rosie Ruiz's face next to it. Back in 1980, this athlete became famous almost overnight after she won the Boston Marathon.
Oh, did she get a
Complete
taxi?
Unknown, she crossed the finish line with the third fastest time of any woman ever recorded.
Not sure.
But once she was over the line, suspicions began to arise. After running over 26 miles so quickly on a 70-degree day, she should have been completely exhausted. But Ruiz appeared suspiciously well rested, raising questions. Was she on some kind of steroids?
She doesn't look like a
Perhaps
marathon
special
runner.
training
She
regimen?
don't really, does she at all?
After several days of confusion, witnesses came forward
Neither
claiming
does she.
they had seen Ruiz join the race from the sidelines less than a mile from the finish.
Probably about a half mile from the finish. She was in track clothes and wearing a number, but I thought someone had just sort of stumbled into the race. Maybe somebody was a little...
Further investigation revealed that during the New York Marathon 6 months earlier, witnesses had actually seen Ruiz riding the subway to the finish line. Even though she denied both accusations, the evidence was piled against her, and Ruiz was stripped of her win and record. Although you have to hand it to her, that's certainly one way to train.
To think that you can get away with that.
Why would you? I mean,
It's unbelievable,
no.
isn't it? And at least if you're going to be in the middle of the pack, like,
I know,
you
yeah.
know, don't be like the third fastest time ever.
Yeah, at least jog slightly to the line, but
Yeah.
oh man.
I knew a guy years ago who was supposed to do the Manchester 10K. It might have been the half marathon, actually. I think it was the half marathon.
Yeah.
But did an all-nighter the night before and was a bit worse for wear, but got up and kind of ran next to the course.
Yeah.
I think he was still pissed up. just went for it to make up for
I've had to go out on a bender the night before.
it. It was a no sleep bender. It was like not a wink of sleep, partying all night.
Why would you?
It's just madness in there.
Crazy.
Dwight Howard. When it comes to cheating, sometimes you need the biggest balls on the court. Or in Dwight Howard's case, the stickiest. Back in 2016, Dwight was playing NBA-level basketball for the Houston Rockets. While the Rockets were playing against the Atlanta
Big guy.
Hawks, officials realized the ball was covered in a tacky substance right after Howard had touched it. The rules of the NBA state that it's illegal to use foreign substances during games, so this raised several red flags. Officials wandered over to the bench and found a glaringly obvious can of Stickum, a kind of spray adhesive, in plain sight of everyone. It was once used to help players get better purchase on the ball, but it was banned from the sport in 1981. Both teams were warned, but no player was accused, and the game continued. After the game, however, Howard admitted to Houston Chronicle writer Jonathan Fain that it was him. But not just that, he then also admitted to using Stickum in every game he played.
Wow.
Somehow the baller just laughed the incident off and no fine or charge was ever brought against him, avoiding what could have been a very sticky situation. 2020.
I suppose even though there may have been no repercussions, you'd get managers and team owners and stuff going, don't think we need to go near that guy.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how well his career fared after that.
Yeah.
But you'd think as a manager, you'd be a bit like...
Well, yeah, you wonder if it'd be the same sort of like if people had acted the same way if it'd been like a big star though, you know, like a really, really big star and they've been doing it. Would they come down heavier on someone like that?
I
do you
don't know.
think?
Probably make an example
Yeah.
out of him.
Well, that's, yeah.
How does Stickum benefit you in basketball if the ball's just sticking to your hand? You're just running
That's
about
good.
like...
It's just not even touching the floor.
Yeah.
you go for a thing like that, it's just stuck on you, stuck in your hands.
Everyone's a slam dunk that you then put in the other hand and walk off.
Yeah,
with
you
it.
have to actually crawl through the hoop.
12 Olympic badminton players. Of all the sports you might associate with cheating, I doubt badminton immediately springs to mind. But at the London 2012 Olympics, intentionally throwing matches became the new winning strategy for several teams. A round-robin system was used in this Olympics, which meant all teams would face each other at some point. The results of earlier matches would be used to put teams into suitable skill brackets, pitting teams of similar ability against one another. So, by strategically losing some games early on, a team could play easier matches against weaker teams at
What
the
a
knockout
stupid
stage
way of
with
doing
better
it.
chances
Yeah.
of winning. This was a strategy that China's team players Wang Xiaoli and Yu
So
Yang
open to
attempted to
abuse.
exploit in the women's doubles tournament. Unfortunately, the South Korean team they were facing had adopted the exact same
Oh,
strategy.
no.
Kim Kyung-yoon and Kim
They're still
Han-na
playing now.
faced the Chinese team on the court, and the world bore witness to one of the worst games of professional badminton ever played. How bad? Well, the longest rally in the first game only lasted 4 strokes. A series of clearly intentional, basic errors ruined the game, and fans jeered and booed at the teams as they left.
Absolute disgrace.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
To make matters worse, another match between a separate South Korean team and Indonesian team suffered the same clash of strategies.
Right to her
because
outside
what
there.
they were all attempting was so blatantly obvious, all 4 pairs were formally accused of trying to rig the matches by performing poorly. As punishment, they were disqualified from the rest of the tournament.
Good.
Hopefully that'll teach them not to be so shuttlecocky in the future. Spanish Paralympic basketball team. In 2000, the Sydney Paralympics was rocked by a scandal that still has people shaking their heads with shame today. On the Australian Paralympic courts, the Spanish learning disabled basketball team beat Russia in their final match to win gold. But after the games closed, a member of the team, Carlos Ribagorda, confessed something outrageous to the press. The team was supposed to be made up exclusively of players with an IQ of less than 70. But 10 of their 12 players were actually mentally competent athletes with much higher IQs than the maximum. Apparently, they had all signed up as part of a wider scheme to boost their country's chances of winning. They'd even been provided with fake medical certificates to help them feign disabilities. Worst of all, for 2 years leading up to the Paralympics, they had trained around the world beating disabled athletes. Even with all that exercise, I don't know how they could sleep at night. Shockingly, the mastermind behind the scheme was the president of the Spanish Federation of Sports for the Intellectually Disabled. But he was fined just 5,400 euros after admitting to charges of fraud and embezzlement. Maybe these pieces of work should have competed in the limbo event instead, seeing just how low they can go.
Scum.
Absolute disgrace.
Pure scum.
I mean, it's bad enough in normal Olympics, isn't it? But the Paralympics and you're cheating in that. I mean, come on.
And it's like the learning disabled basketball as well.
Yeah.
So you're like, it's just, I mean, there's literally movies about it. There's The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville, isn't there?
Yeah.
Where I think he pretends to be mentally handicapped.
Oh, I'm not seeing that.
I think he wants to be in the Special Olympics or, like a special event. I think so. It's years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows you like the lens people
I tell you what, that is low. That is really low.
Yeah. I mean, how you can look yourself in the mirror after that.
I know. Yeah.
Imagine if they lost as well.
I know. If only they had, it would have been. Yeah.
Proper karma.
Tanya Harding. In 1994, the world of figure skating became a total media circus after drama struck the ice. The day before the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, title holder Nancy Kerrigan was filmed finishing a practice skate in Michigan's Cobo Arena. But just seconds later, she was screaming in pain on the ground after a man with a police baton attacked her.
Why? I don't know, some hard black stick.
With her thigh badly bruised, Kerrigan was unable to compete. Her longtime rival, Tanya Harding, went on to take first place and was selected alongside her for that year's Winter Olympic skating team. However, police soon discovered the attack on Kerrigan had been ordered by a bounty hunter. In a shocking twist of events, Tanya Harding's ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, and her once bodyguard, Sean Eckert, were labeled as the culprits. They'd hired the bounty hunter to break Kerrigan's leg, removing Harding's competition in the upcoming events. Although she claimed she had no part in the conspiracy, Harding later admitted that she knew her ex-husband had been involved, but she'd failed to report it. A disciplinary panel stripped her of the championship title shortly after she'd participated in the 1994 Winter Olympics. But the Olympics had been filled with some justice of their own. At the games, a malfunction with her skates saw Tanya placed down in 8th, while Kerrigan managed a silver in 2nd. Karma gets pretty icy sometimes.
Yeah, I remember. I think there's a film about that, wasn't there?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did a film about it. I'm sure they did.
I think Blades of Glory, they sort of do something similar. But that's obviously like a piss take movie, isn't it?
Just a bit. Is it Will Ferrell, that?
Yeah. It's a good, funny movie, actually.
Yeah, it's a funny guy.
I mean, it's so despicable, isn't it?
That's pretty extreme, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
To go out and try and break someone else's leg.
To break an athlete's leg as well. It's not like,
etc.
It's not like one of us breaks a leg and we can kind of wheelchair to work every day. It's like you're high level and that's probably career ending.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, could be, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's some scumbags out there.
Things people do though for success and to win.
Imagine having that gold medal and knowing that you got it because you broke someone's leg.
Absolutely. What sort of mentality have you got if you could take sort of like pride in something like that? I mean,
Bloodgate. Back in 2009, the world of rugby was shaken to its foundations during the scandal now known as Bloodgate. In a Heineken Cup match between the English Harlequins and the Irish Leinsters, the Harlequins' Tom Williams was suddenly pulled off the pitch in the game's closing moments. He had blood dripping from his mouth and was told he couldn't play on, but the only substitute available was Nick Evans. Nick had also been injured earlier in the game, and under normal circumstances, the rules state that a player can't be subbed out more than once per game. But thanks to an exception in the rules specifically regarding blood injuries,
Did
Nick
you know
was
about
allowed
that?
to hobble out regardless.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
Fortunately, Nick was exactly the type of player the Harlequins needed at that moment to have a shot at winning the match. It seemed like a bloody good stroke of luck. But as Williams headed towards the bench, the cameras caught him winking to his teammates. Would you be winking and smiling after a supposed injury to your face? Something definitely wasn't right, so the European Rugby Cup set up an investigation into the substitution. They found Williams had been given a fake blood capsule by the team's physiotherapist in order to allow Evans back on at the critical moment. It was an illegal tactic orchestrated by the team's chief executive, Dean Richards, who was accused of 4 similar incidents. Richards, Williams, and the physiotherapist all received bans from the sport, and the Harlequins club was slapped with a £260,000 fine. Worst of all, the Harlequins cheating didn't even bag them the win. To this day, the BBC claims it was rugby's biggest scandal, and I'm inclined to agree. Well, either that or the 2009 alternate away kit designs from Staff. Yikes.
Good point. Let's say it didn't look real when it was coming out of his mouth.
No, not at all.
The
amount that he spat out as well was just like that's an injury. That's bad.
Yeah, definitely.
If you did expect teeth to be missing or pointing the wrong way.
But yeah, I do remember that when it happened. I mean, some people probably think it's. Some people probably think it's not cheating, but it's sort of like a
exploitation of the rules.
Exploitation or a bit of gamesmanship sort of thing. But
it's cheating.
It is cheating, I suppose.
If he wanted to do it, he should have got really injured.
Yeah.
There's other ways to get injured.
Yeah.
than a blood capsule.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. But definitely exploited that rule that was in at the time. I think they've changed it now since, obviously, to tighten things up a bit.
Was he banned for life?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Not sure.
Because he just said he was slapped with a ban.
Yeah.
But he didn't say.
It probably won't be for life, I wouldn't have thought, no. But it just shows, doesn't it, if there are rules that they think they can bend or something, there's always people out there that will try and exploit it and try and do something about it.
You win the game if you're going to do that, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you're going to do it, do a good job about it.
Michael Pineda. In sports like baseball, one fumble can be the difference between victory and defeat. But back in 2014, New York Yankees pitcher Michael Pineda simply couldn't get a grip. As his team faced off against the Boston Red Sox, the Major League Baseball pitcher decided to up his game by using pine tar to improve his grip on the ball. He placed a small patch of the sticky substance on his neck, with his plan being to discreetly rub the ball there before throwing it. But not discreetly enough, it would seem. Before long, the Red Sox coach had spotted something afoot and was informing the referee. And funnily enough, at the same moment the coach complained about Pineda, a fan in the stalls could be seen pointing out Pineda's obvious faux pas. After several umpires checked his hands and neck, Pineda was immediately ejected from the game. In the 10 games following, the rules of Major League Baseball state pretty clearly that you can't use foreign substances on the ball, but this wasn't the first time Pineda had been caught cheating like this. He'd used the same pine tar in a previous match against the Red Sox and had even been caught on camera having obviously applied it. Maybe
it's
Pineda
so
just
obvious.
wanted to
I know, yeah.
pine part of his
not
name,
even particularly
but
subtle,
this was
is it?
hardly a pitch-perfect way to go about it.
That's
2012
bad.
Olympic women weightlifters. The final lift of the 75 kilograms category at the 2012 Olympic women's weightlifting event was an incredible moment for everyone watching. Both Svetlana Podobedova and Natalia Zabaletnaya had set new Olympic records for women,
if you lift it,
with
Podobedova
taking the gold for Kazakhstan. In doing so, she'd pushed Zabaletnaya of Russia into silver and Belarusian lifter Irina Kulesha to third. They all made lifting weights look natural, except there was nothing natural powering the performance of these ladies. Despite testing clean for illegal performance-enhancing drugs at the time, the International Olympic Committee began reanalyzing athlete drug tests in 2015. Thanks to an advance in technology, the committee were able to pick up previously overlooked substances, catching past cheaters who thought they'd gotten away with it. The reanalysis revealed a list of athletes who had clearly violated anti-doping laws, including 3 names you'll recognize: Svetlana Podobedova, Natalia Zabolotnaya, and Irina Kulesha. All three of the muscle-bound matriarchs were disqualified, stripped of their medals, and had their Olympic records nullified. So even though they were pumped up on steroids, they still managed this all-natural fail. Femke von...
There's a documentary about Russian state-sponsored doping.
Yeah.
And it is literally, there's scientists working on it.
It's amazing, wasn't it, when they sussed it all out? It's so widespread. Like I say, it's state-sponsored as well. It's just like a factory, isn't it, of,
Don't their... Is it athletics team currently have a ban? I mean, pre the Ukraine conflict, weren't they banned for doping anyway? Or there was...
I think they were anyway from... Yeah, we're not banned from the Olympics anyway.
I think so,
I think some of them were performing under a...
Without a flag, sort of thing.
Without a flag, under like a neutral sort of banner, weren't they? From what I remember. I think they were, but I'd stand to be corrected on that. But I've got a feeling that they were banned.
I just assume that all weightlifters are juicing a little bit.
Weightlifters, cycling, the suspicion there is just huge overall, and especially weightlifters. I mean, but this state-sponsored, doping and everything, they're getting so sophisticated now in trying to hide these things and come up with new substances all the time. I think that the powers that be are just chasing the tail all the time, aren't they? Because
if it's not on the banned substance list, I presume you can get some crazy scientists that can change like the molecular structure by one of something, and suddenly it's not on the like they do with the designer drugs, the bath salts and stuff.
Yeah,
they're just like certain drugs, but then they've just slightly changed the chemical composition so it's not on a banned list, and then just sold them over the counter.
Exactly. Yeah, this isn't banned, so I can use it.
Yeah.
Drisha. While some athletes work to improve themselves, others work to improve their methods of cheating. That was a sad fact that became clear back in 2016 after cycling champion Femke van den Drisha became the first ever athlete to be caught mechanical doping. That's a fancy way of saying she'd hidden a motor in her equipment to make the race easier. She was competing in the cyclocross championships when she suddenly stopped mid-race, claiming there was a problem with her bike. But on closer inspection, officials spotted wires and a battery concealed under the bicycle seat, leading to a motor hidden in the crankshaft. Van den Drisha was able to turn the motor on and off inconspicuously through a Bluetooth button attached at the handlebars. This turned the crank and helped push the pedals at key points in the race. Like here, where on a difficult climb, Van den Drisha was seen easily pulling away from the group with very little effort. When asked to deliver her defense, she claimed the bike belonged to her friend Nico van Mulder. Even though he confirmed her story, the rules at the time stated that the responsibility for the bike was all hers. She was hit with a 6-year ban from professional cycling and a fine of 20,000 Swiss francs, which is just shy of $21,000. Before being stripped of all her previous titles. Guess she should have pumped the brakes on that plan. Have you ever been caught cheating in a sport before?
6 years is probably career over, isn't it? I'd imagine.
I would have thought
when you're quite high level.
Obviously, whatever sport you're in normally, the older to get, the less you are at the higher level sort of thing. That's your sort of prime going out the window, isn't it? So
it's just why. I wonder if they've got someone in their ear convincing them of this stuff.
They probably have. I mean, the partner there, did you say it was a friend?
I think it's a friend, yeah.
Well, maybe there's... I mean, someone's made it, haven't they? She must have known about it. She must have done.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Of course, because she's got to be pressing the button.
Yeah, she's got to be pressing the button. She must be going faster than she normally would. She must know that, and there's less effort. So, it's just... I've never seen that before, the cycling one. I really haven't.
It's just a battery. Like I thought, again, that was probably going to be doping or something, which cycling is allegedly full of.
Yeah.
Which I think
it's been proved that it is
it probably is
present in it, shall we say? Anyway,
yeah. There's a lot of people who say Lance Armstrong was thrown under the bus. Everyone was doing it, and he was just an example.
But I suppose he was the winner. When is it like 6 times? Did he something like that?
Something like that.
Won it quite a few times, didn't they? So I suppose people are always going to go after the top person, aren't they? So
it's just madness, isn't it? And it amazes me that people still think they can get. I suppose the benefits maybe outweigh the risks.
Well, they can do, can't they? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them, especially when the younger athletes, probably get talked into it by older people saying, "Listen, you won't get caught," and this, that, and the other, and and it is tempting. there's riches out there, isn't there, for people that win Olympic golds, and it's just careers out there for them.
The vast majority of Olympians don't make a lot of money. Like, they don't get paid to be in the Olympics. So to be number one, that's where you'll get the sponsorship deals,
and number one on several occasions as well. You get cyclists, like we have over here, like Sir Chris Hoy's, and some of the swimmers as well. You know, there is big careers out there if you do well and you're multi-gold medal winner. There can be big money.
Is there any update on that WNBA player that got imprisoned in Russia at the start of the conflict because did she allegedly have weed on her, or she had a vape pen that had THC in it or something?
Yeah,
do you remember?
I do remember. I've not heard anything at all.
Because that was quite big news at the beginning, wasn't it? That saying she's kind of a political prisoner, and not. I might Google that one, or let us know in the comment section, because it seems so.
Forgotten about it. It's not been in our news anyway, has it?
Definitely
so
not.
It's maybe gone under the radar a little bit. Maybe it's one of those where they're trying to keep it quiet and do things diplomatically, sort of away from sort of like the media spotlight, which is, I know, sometimes the way to do it, isn't it? So
it should be swapped for some sort of official that's in prison.
Some sort of swap going, something along those lines maybe, but I'm sure someone else will be able to let us know on that one.
Yeah, let us know. Cheers for that one, guys. Do appreciate it. Let us know in the comment section if you've ever cheated by drugging yourself. Or
how did you do it?
Putting a battery in your bike or whatever you do. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.